What's going on, guys? Welcome back to TBT.
The Throwback Tube. And today, we're in the year of our Lord, 1991.
Yeah.
We've entered the 90s, which I like a lot of 90s music, but for whatever reason, the 90s have been kind of rough for me so far. One particular year, the 91 and 92, I pretty much knew exactly what was going to be my albums.
Okay.
But 93 was where I had a little hiccup and I was like, this year kind of sucks a little bit. So,
Well, let's.
but we're on 91, so.
Yeah, 1991. 91. All right.
Will you go ahead, good sir, give us your picks?
Well, my number one pick for 1991 is album called RTZ Return to Zero.
I remember you talking about that. I still ain't listened to it.
Yeah, it's a great album. It's got I think the singer and the guitarist of Boston in it.
Mm-hmm.
Until Your Love Comes Back Around, There's Another Side, Rain Down on Me are my favorite songs on that album.
I believe it's Brad Delp.
I think that's his name.
Yeah, he sung in Boston, and then he went and done that as a side project after Third Stage in '86 with Boston. Him and God, I can't remember his name at the moment, but they were having a real hard time and getting along and stuff. So he kind of branched out and tried new projects and stuff.
And that's probably what it is then, when he branched. Secondary album, Nirvana, Nevermind album.
Okay.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, In Bloom, Come As You Are, and Lithium. I mean, very well-known songs. I mean, I enjoyed those obviously the most on that album. Nirvana is it. I would say, like, growing up, if you had to listen to some good, like, rock music at the time, I mean, that was it. Like, good old punk. I think it was like a punkish slash type rock music.
Well, if you think about Nirvana, which I feel like they're a lot different. They're kind of, for me, like Alice in Chains, where they're the biggest ones in the grunge movement,
Yeah.
but they're not really. They don't really have that grunge sound. Because when I think of grunge, I think of more like Soundgarden. You know what I mean? Like Pearl
Yeah.
Jam to a degree. Which I guess you could say Nirvana really are the ones that kick-started that style in the 90s. But Nevermind, I believe, had it was so different, especially coming from the 80s, you know. And did you know that Nirvana had an album before Nevermind?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
It's called Bleach. It was in '88,
Bleach.
and it's very raw. All right, well, those are some good picks. We're going to be totally different this time.
All right.
But I do want to give a shout out to Nevermind, because that was in my list for this year. So I'm cheating. I told you I was going to, so get ready.
You always cheat all the time. Cheating on these things.
So my favorite is a two-way tie, but technically it's a double album. So technically I ain't cheating. They just released it on two different discs on the same day so they could make more money. You had to buy both of them instead of one disc.
Hey,
So
it works.
my number one is Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 from Guns N' Roses.
I did listen to those.
They came out the exact same day, and 30 songs, two separate CDs. They made a boatload of money off of it. So I'll give you some of my favorite songs from both real quick. Right Next Door to Hell, Dust and Bones. The Live and Let Die cover. That's a Paul McCartney song. Don't Cry. Bad Obsession, Back Off Bitch, November Rain, Don't Damn Me, Garden of Eden. The Garden has Alice Cooper on it. And then that's on Use Your Illusion 1. Use Your Illusion 2 has. There's so many songs, I just put this one on my tab. Civil War, which is a huge song for them. 14 Years, Yesterday, Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is Bob Dylan. Get in the Ring, Pretty Tied Up, it's cool. Locomotive, So Fine. Estranged, and You Could Be Mine. Those were like these two albums, which they actually did do this, which I don't, for me, I don't think it was all the best songs, but it was like the biggest hits of the two albums. And my dad had this, and it was just called Use Your Illusion. It wasn't one or two, it was like a greatest hits version. All the big hits from both albums they put on one and made like I think it was like 11 or 12 tracks of like the biggest hits and singles from both albums. But I feel like there's a lot of deep cuts that are just as good, if not better, than some of the real popular ones. So,
Okay. All right.
and my runner-up is the Black Album by Metallica.
Ah.
Enter Sandman. Never need to hear it again. There's there's 75 other great Metallica songs I would listen to before that one ever again. Sad but True, Holier Than Thou, Wherever I May Roam, Through the Never, Nothing Else Matters, Of Wolf and Man, Struggle Within. To me, this is basically a greatest hits album as well, because uh, pretty much every single song off of this album was played on the radio almost. The Unforgiven, I forgot that one, but like, yeah, like every one of those songs I just named, except for maybe Of Wolf and Man and Struggle Within, I've heard on the radio. Like,
Yeah.
and this is the album that shot them into like the stratosphere, you know, like over the top, boatloads of money, rich, drugs, sex, alcohol, divorces,
That's right.
just they became. But you know what, people hate on this album, but I will say one thing: without this album you would not reach as many metal fans as you have now, because this to me is like the ultimate gateway metal album. It's very accessible, it's not too extreme, it's not too complex, it's really heavy and chuggy, and you can sing along to it. It's got that, I don't want to say pop, but you know what I mean, like the good hooks.
Yes.
And it's amazingly produced, just the sound of it. Like, without this album you wouldn't have as many metal heads as you have today that are finding metal, because this is the one of the most selling albums ever, and it's what really put metal in the forefront for a lot of people, you know, a lot of. And I know Metallica probably, I don't know if they hate that they became so popular, but you know, I would say it definitely changed their trajectory for sure. Because while I love every album, almost every album after the Black Album, you can tell that they kind of go through an identity crisis. Because, like you brought up Nirvana and this album came out the same year. Well, while they still came out the same year, Nirvana started the grunge movement really heavily. And then you have all these metal bands from the 80s that go into the 90s, and they all try to make some kind of alternative metal or alternative rock sounding album, and they never work.
Yeah, it's like every time it goes into, I would say, like from the 60s to the 70s, 70s, 80s, 80s, 90s, even to the 90s to the 2000s.
Yeah.
There's always just, it's more competitive. They're trying to be the same.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, they do try to change it to what like the new stuff.
modern,
Just, it doesn't always work all the time.
Now, see, I will say I love Load and Reload, and those are like Metallica's alternative albums. I don't think Megadeth did good with it. Uh, I don't think Anthrax did really good with it, even though their singer at the time was really good. Jeff Bush, I think. He was from another band called Armored Saint. Slayer even went down the new metal rabbit hole on an album. I mean,
it turned into a different era.
but like going back to that though, you would not have all that popular metal music without the Black Album. So
I agree.
that's just how it is.
I agree with
Love
that.
or hate it.
All right.
Well, that wraps up 91. We'll be back for 92. This was a good one. 92 is a good year.
Okay, we'll see what you got.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see you all in 92.